in my life. I've proven a lot of things in my life.
Alright guys, welcome to Bros Plug and Play. We're going to play some... you see, look at it. We're going to play some Morrowind. And obviously I have to speak on this one because it's not all fully voice acted like Skyrim. So this is going to be a live play with live reactions as well. We're going to start a new game. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero there is no event. In the waning years of the third era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history. Oh, that went by quick.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison. First by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Name. Name is stuck. And I'm just calling me. Be me.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
You better do what they say.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on.
On deck. Now, prisoner.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Gonna be a dark elf. Who's that face? His face got a beard. Hair. We don't want no hair. Hair looks strange. Let's go with no hair. Yeah. Oop. There it is.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release. Head on in.
Pretty loudly. The volume down.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
No, we can either answer questions, give him information to pick a class from a list. We're going to make our own class. Create custom. Class name. It's going to be Darkness Hero. Make a assassin style, like a Nightblade. Stealth. Nothing else, don't need that. Ability. Affects your ability to dodge and hit targets. Yes. Let's do ability and willpower. That's a good one. Major skills. So we need light armor and sneak, short blade, illusion, law. That might be a good one. Yeah, let's do lock. Oh, no. We need marksman for archery. There you go. Minor skills will put lock picking. Destruction. This is a good one. Healing. Block. And Beechcraft. Last description. The Knight. The Sneaky Knight. Fast. Unbeatable.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
and pick the Atron up because you can absorb magic. You start off with a lot of magicka, but you can't regenerate magic, but I think that's okay. We can work around that, so we're going to pick that.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Ew, that's not good. My personality is crap. Now I have a stats menu. Right click.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
See my stamina bar. Why? Except for the next video, I think we'll be okay.
Take your papers off the table and go see Captain Gravius.
Alright. For release by Emperor Uriel Septim VII's decree to the district of Vardenfell in the province of Morrowind. Name Saeed. Race Dark Elf. Class Darkness Hero. Signed Scusius Urgala, Agent of the Seydanine Imperial Census and Excise. 16th the last seed. 3rd era 427. Seems okay. And now I have an inventory menu. Right click to see it. Bottom of the screen's cut. Good. Do you want training? Well, information. Nope. Got my money. Goodbye.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Sellus Gravius.
I'm an officer of the Imperial Legion. Move along. The Legions hire qualified recruits of proven skill and character and provide training, goods and services at discounts. The lower ranks are common troopers and officers, but the upper ranks include the orders of the Imperial Knights. Imperial. Our civilization has brought peace and prosperity to all Tamriel. We place our faith in hard work, education and discipline. We prefer free trade and diplomacy, but are not ashamed to use force. Goodbye. You should learn how to do combat. Pick up the dagger on the table by activating it with E. Equip the dagger by dropping on your picture. Press F to pull out your weapon. Okay. E. You're capturing this village. Wow, that's good, man. I'm recording voice as well.
Are you doing voice?
So, if you are you gonna play Modern Warfare?
I'm gonna play proper Modern Warfare. Okay. But if no one plays with me, then there will be no rage.
Note to Hriskar. Hriskar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. Gang CL. Letters, books can be reread by equipping them. Let's take some bread. Paper. Cellars. Liquors act like potions, but we're not going to do that. Quick. Put that.
So, you know, from beacons to your ammo for LMGs, a lot less than what you need for an assault rifle. Yeah.
31 Got it all. The firmament by Folk. So stupid. The stars of Tamriel are divided into 13 constellations. 3 of them are the major constellations known as the Guardians. These are the Warrior, the Mage, and the Thief. Each of the Guardians protects its 3 charges. From the 13th constellation, the Serpent. When the sun rises near one of the constellations, it is that constellation's season. Each constellation has a season of approximately 1 month. The Serpent has no season, for it moves about in the heavens, usually threatening one of the other constellations. The Warrior. The Warrior is the first Guardian constellation, and he protects his charges during their seasons. The Warrior's own season is last seed, when his strength is needed for the harvest. His charges are the Lady, the Steed, and the Lord. Those born under the sign of the Warrior are skilled with weapons of all kinds, but prone to short tempers. The Mage. The Mage is a Guardian constellation whose season is Rain's Hand, when Magicka was first used by men. His charges are the Apprentice, the Golem, and the Ritual. Those born under the Mage have more Magicka and talent for all kinds of spellcasting, but are often arrogant and absent-minded. The Thief. Thief is the last Guardian constellation, and her season is the darkest month of Evening Star. Her charges are the Lover, the Shadow, and the Tower. Those born under the sign of the Thief are not typically thieves, though they take risks more often and only rarely come to harm. They will run out of luck eventually, however, and rarely live as long as those born under other signs. The Serpent. The Serpent wanders about in the sky and has no season, though its motions are predictable to a degree. No characteristics are common to all who are born under the sign of the Serpent. Those born under this sign are the most blessed and the most cursed. The Lady. The Lady is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is Heartfire. Those born under the sign of the Lady are kind and tolerant. The Steed. The Steed is one of the Warrior's charges, and her season is mid-year. Those born under the sign of the Steed are impatient and always hurrying from one place to another. The Lord. The Lord's season is first seed, and he oversees all of Tamriel during the planting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are stronger and healthier than those born under other signs. The Apprentice. The Apprentice's season is sun's height. Those born under the sign of the Apprentice have a special affinity to magic of all kinds, but are more vulnerable to magic as well. The Atronach. The Atronach, often called the Golem, is one of the Mage's charges. Its season is sun's dusk. Those born under this sign are natural sorcerers with deep reserves of magicka, but they cannot generate magicka of their own. The Ritual. The Ritual is one of the Mage's charges, and its season is Morning Star. Those born under this sign have a variety of abilities depending on the aspects of the moons and the divines. The Lover. The Lover is one of the thief's charges, and her season is Sun's Dawn. Those born under the sign of the Lover are graceful and passionate. The Shadow. The Shadow season is Second Seed. The Shadow grants those born under her sign the ability to hide in shadows. The Tower. The Tower is one of the thief's charges, and its season is Frostfall. Those born under the sign of the Tower have a knack for finding gold and can open locks of all kinds. That's a lie, you can only open expert ones. Only reached me yesterday. I am Celes Gravius, but my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you to Morrowind. Background. I am Celes Gravius, the Knight Errant of the Imperial Legion. Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are a free man. But before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. Uriel Septim. Yes, Uriel Septim is still the Emperor. According to my instructions, he personally authorized your release from prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious, but that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing. The Empire. Yes, of course this is the Empire. This is Vardenfell district of the province of Morrowind. And Morrowind has been part of the Empire for over 400 years. The current Emperor is Uriel Septim, 24th of the Septim line. You haven't been in prison that long, have you? Nothing wrong with your head, is there? The men said you were acting a little strange when you... Well, that's a little strange when they brought you in from the ship. Let's ask them that. Can I say you know what duties? This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Crusades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club. Ask for Caius Crusades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. Journal's been updated. I've got directions and some gold. Caius Crusades. Report to Caius Crusades in Balmora. I can't tell you where to find him, but you are to go to the Southwall Corner Club and ask for him. Someone there can direct you to him. Balmora. Balmora is north of Saint Denis. The road passes Pelagayad village and Fort Pelagayad. Crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, then turns west across the Odai River and into Balmora. The Southwall Corner Club is in southeast Balmora, on the cast side of the river. For more detailed directions, talk to Ellen, the scout at Arrol's Trade House here in Saint Denis. But take my advice, you're new here. Take the Silt Strider to Balmora. Fast, cheap, safe. Cross the bridge and head east. Can't miss it. Silt Strider. Silt Striders carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be travelled. Silt Striders are giant insects, and a compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Silt Striders travel between Alderun, Balmora, Saint Denis, Suran, Nisis, Molagmar, Margan, and North Landing near Vivek. Goodbye.
Any time now.
Press J to use your journal and review what you've been told. You should probably check out Arrow's Trade House on the left. You're on your own now. Good luck. Good. My orders are 16th. Last seen day 1. My orders are to go to the town of Balmora in Vardenfell district and report to a man named Caius Cosades. To find out where he lives, you should ask in Balmora at the corner club called Southwall. When I find Caius Cosades, I must give him a package of documents. Make for further orders.
Go ahead, stranger.
Yes. Yes, what do you want? If you're looking to get out of Saint Denis, I'll be happy to give you a little advice. Okay. New here. Take the Silt Strider to Vivek or Balmora. Fast and cheap. No trouble with wild animals, and smugglers, and bandits, and outlaws. Go see Dervain Helerum over at the Silt Strider fort, over the bridge and cast along the water, and tell her Verdunius Nucius sent you. Right, that's me. If you decide to take the Silt Strider, tell Dervain Helerum I sent you. It's the commoner. Little secret. Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions. You don't ask, you never learn. Good. Trade. I'm a commoner. I do whatever needs doing. Cooking, cleaning, building, baking, making, breaking, and by your accent, I can tell you are an outlander. Since you're new to these parts, perhaps you're like me. You'd like me to share a little local lore. Latest rumors. My son was recently shipped to Fort Frostmoth on the island of Solstein. I don't know what he did to deserve that, but it couldn't have been good. Journal's been updated. Solstein. That's the frozen island up to the north, right? Sounds awful to me. If you're looking to get there, you might check for transportation in Cool. Journal updated again. Someone in particular. The Altma Arrol runs Arrol's Trade House. Sucucius Ergala is the chief agent of the Census and Excise Office. It's a good place. Not much here. Arrol's Trade House, the Census and Excise Offices. That's the Coast Guard too, and a lighthouse. That's it. Silt Strider service goes to Vivek, Balmora, Nisis, and Suran. The road goes north past Pelagayad to Balmora, and east to Vivek, and southeast to Ebonheart. Argoth. Are you the one that the boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of the day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. Ring? I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before their weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring. Family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? I have. Have it? You found it. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. You are now my favourite person. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Errol, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. Journal's been updated. Background. He's Fargoth, the commoner. Latest rumours. I've heard that the local tax collector, Processus Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really. He wasn't well liked around here. Little advice. Phew, you're bitter green Outlander. Might as well wear a sign, new in town. Word of advice, buy a little goodwill, lose a few drakes, gain a friend. Folks will loosen up if you'll spread a little of the Emperor's gold around. In secret, if someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack him. Okay. Trade. I am a commoner. I do the same as the other guy. Ring. Thank you for the ring. Services. Get food and sundries at Arrow's Trade House. That's also where you'll find anyone who offers training. Not much else in the way of services in this damp little squat. Saltstein. A terrible place, I've heard. That's a boat from Cool. There's a boat from Cool if you have any reason to go. Someone in particular. Altmar again, specific place. Trade house, don't know. Goodbye.
This is a wondrous encounter. Welcome.
Oh, lots of them. 16th last seat day one. I have heard rumours of an island to the north of Varnamfell named Solstein. There is apparently an imperial fort named Fort Frostmourne. I have been told there is now a boat in Cool that offers transport to the island of Solstein. I have met a bossman named Fargoth who claims the Imperials have stolen a ring of his and would like it back. I have returned the engraved ring of healing to Fargoth. He was overjoyed to have it back and promised to mention my name to the trader here in town to get better price than this.
Let's hear it.
One tourist, Gervain, bloody hell. Welcome to Scenic Saint-Denis, gateway to Morrowind. Are you looking for someone in particular, or do you want just a little advice? Same advice as before. Thingy.
I'm waiting.
Still? No problem.
Let's hear it.
Speak, traveler.
Arrow. Welcome to Arrow's Trade House. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about our most popular potions? Our most popular scrolls, popular potions. Cure common disease and cure blight disease potions are the most popular with travelers. Fortify strength, endurance, speed, agility are very helpful in combat. Fortify personality is popular with merchants. shy persons. Of course, fortify fatigue keeps you fighting at your best. Restore health and restore fatigue are perhaps our most popular items, and for a short burst of power during a fight, you can't beat grief. Shane, Flynn, Mazte, and Sujama. Scrolls. Vigor and Vitality are our best-selling bargain items, restoring fatigue and health, respectively. Alm, Civi Intervention, and Divine Intervention transport you instantly to the nearest temple or nearest Imperial Shrine, good for routine or emergency transportation. Heartwise helps with persuasion. Summon Skeletal Minion brings help in a jiffy, and Drathis Winter Guest does a lot of damage at a touch, handy to whittle a too tough opponent down to size. Good to know. Latest rumors. I heard that Hriskar upstairs is having some financial troubles. Can't seem to win a wager these days. Excellent. Sounds like little advice. If you want to live to a ripe old age, buy a weapon and as much armor as you can wear and still run from trouble. Buy a spell or two to practice your skills. Don't practice on citizens. We call that foul murder, and we don't like it. But you can kill smugglers and bandits and other outlaws all you like. Outlaws have no rights. Plenty of adventurers make a living from killing and looting outlaws. That smuggler scum down in Adam Masatus, for instance, the cave down near the Siltstrider platform. Practice your skills. Practice on creatures and outlaws. Anyone who attacks you first. When in doubt, run away. If you attack a citizen by accident, don't kill him. Turn yourself into a guard, pay your fine, and clear your name. People treat you like an outlaw. Okay, I sell some crap. Don't need dagger. Get a bit more. Oh. Ooh, took it. Let's buy some weapons. Short blade. And short sword. Actually, no. Yeah. Bow. With the short sword. Spot a silver one. armor. Oh. Being light. Dim. Body. Leather shield. $185. No, that's $160. Yeah, no, it might be. Yeah, this. The decadent home country of Somerset Isle and into the promised land of Morrowind. Saint Veleth also taught the difference between the good and bad Daedra, and won the aid of the good Daedra for his people, while teaching how to carefully negotiate with the bad Daedra. If you would learn generosity, follow Saint Realms the Barefooted, patron of pilgrims and beggars. Saint Realms gave away her shoes, then dressed and appeared as a beggar to better acquaint herself with the poor. If you would learn self-respect and respect for others, follow Saint Aralor the Penitent, patron of tanners and miners. This foul criminal repented his sins and travelled the circuit of the great pilgrimages on his knees. If you would learn mercy and its fruits, follow Saint Seren the Merciful, patron of brewers, bakers, distillers. This pure virgin of modest aspect could heal all diseases at the price of taking the disease upon herself. Tough-minded and fearless, she took on the burden of others and bore those burdens to an honoured old age. If you would learn fierce justice, Follow Saint Thelmes the Bold, patron of butchers and fishmongers. This brave warlord slew the Nord invaders and drove them from our lands. He could neither read nor write, receiving an inspiration directly from the lips of Al Civi. If you would learn pride of race and tribe, follow Saint Horace the Martyr, patron of furnishers and caravanners. Captured by Argonians just before the Arnesian War, Horace proudly refused to renounce the tribunal faith and withstood the cruel tortures of Argonian sorcerers. Vengeance and justice for the martyred Saint Horace was the rallying cry of the Arnesian War. If you would learn the rule of law and justice, follow Saint Olms the Just, patron of chandlers and clerks, founder of the Ordinators. Saint Olms conceived and articulated the fundamental principles of testing, ordeal, and repentance. If you would learn benevolence, follow Saint Delin the Wise, patron of potters and glassmakers. Saint Delin was head of House Indaril, a skilled lawyer and author of many learned treatises on tribunal law and custom. If you would learn the love of peace, follow Saint Maris the Peacemaker, patron of farmers and labourers. As a little girl, Saint Maris showed healing gifts. Trained as a healer, she ended a long and bloody house war, intervening on the battlefield in her white robe to heal warriors and spellcasters without regard to faction. The troops of all house adopted white robes as her standard and refused to shed the blood of their brethren. If you will learn reverence, follow the Saint Lothis the Pious, patron of tailors and dyers, contemporary and companion of the tribunals, the best-loved Alma ruler of the tribunal temple. He formulated the central rituals and principles of the new temple faith. Saint Lothis is the symbolic mortal bridge between the gods of the faithful and the archetypal priest. Is that kind of stuff? That's it.
Serious offense. Surrender now, and I might let you live.
That's a steal. Do that.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Welcome.
Make it quick,
Care to
Outlander.
talk?
I hope.
What say you?
Scarf Flatfoot. You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold. Okay. That's right, see, I had a bad run of luck playing 9 holes and lost a bit of money. Normally I'd be fine. We can usually keep some gold in our pockets just from the money the locals pay us for protection. But I know some of them are holding out on me, especially that little fetcher Fargoth. He's come up light the past couple of weeks when I've shaken him down. I know he's stashing it somewhere. I'd like you to find Fargoth's hiding place. I know the little fetcher's got one somewhere in town, just not sure where yet. I've already gone through his whole house, so I know he's not hiding it there. I'd like you to find out where he's stashing his gold, if you can. I'll give you a share of the wealth. Are you up for it? Yes. Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know he wanders around town at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is on top of the lighthouse south of town. That will give you a nice view of all of Saint Denis. If you keep an eye on where he goes, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where he's hiding that gold. Journal update. Hriskar Flatfoot asked me to do him a favour. He believes that Fargoth has been hiding money from the Imperials, and he'd like to know where it's gone. If I will work for him, he will give me a share of the bounty. I've agreed to help Hriskar find the money that Fargoth has been hiding away. I'm supposed to keep an eye on him from the top of the lighthouse in town. Watch where he goes. Hriskar believes I should watch him at night. I'm not supposed to approach him at any time. I should then retrace his footsteps and find out where he's hidden the money. When I found it, I should report back to Hriskar.
You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
Welcome to Seydanine, stranger. Is there anything specific you're looking for? Seydanine is a small scapple in the Bitter Coast region, southwest of the coast of Vardenfell. Vardenfell district is one of the 6 imperial administrative districts of Morrowind, consisting of the island of Vardenfell, surrounded by the inland sea, dominated by the titanic volcano Red Mountain and its associated ash wasteland. My trade. I'm a scout. I know places, people, plants, paths, wind, and weather. I serve as a guide for people, for travellers and traders, or work as advanced guard and pathfinder for expeditions. I know the geography of Vardenfell, the various geographic regions. My best defence is stealth, sneaking past trouble, but I can fight bow or blade, various armour styles when the job requires it. Geographic regions? Vardenfell has 9 regions, each with their own plants and terrain. They're called the Ascadian Isles, the Ashlands, Azuros Coast, the Bitter Coast, and Gracelands, Molag Amor, Red Mountain, West Gash, and Sheogorad. Bitter Coast. The western coast of Vardenfell from Seydanine, north of Narmok, and it's called the Bitter Coast. Narmok. Narmok is a tiny island fishing village in the Bitter Coast region of western Vardenfell.
Okay, I'm listening.
Very nice notice. Arrow's Trade House, Port of Seydanine. Whereas at the General Sessions of Peace held for the district of House Halalu at the town of Balmora on the 16th day of Fair Seed in the year of the reign of our sovereign king, Halalu Thene Lethen, by the grace of all gods, King of Morrowind, Duke of Mournhold and Halalu Province, defender of the people and the law, loyal servant of the Empire, etc. Arrow of the Port of Seydanine, aforesaid, hath entered into recognizance with sureties. Before us His Majesty's magistrates of peace within the said district, whose names are hereunder written. We therefore, His Majesty's said magistrates, have hereby licensed and allowed the said Arrow to keep a common trade house, or corner club, in the house wherein he is now dwelleth, in the port of Seydanine aforesaid, for 3 full years. From henceforth next ensuing, or till such other time as shall be by us, or some of us fellow magistrates thereunto appointed, provided that if the said Arrow do not from time to time during that time well and truly observe the articles hereafter mentioned, then this license shall presently cease and be utterly void. First item. That the said Arrow shall not suffer any stranger or unknown traveller to lodge or stay in or about his house above 1 day and 1 night, without making the same known forthwith to the next bailiff or other officer of this town, to that end that the said stranger or unknown traveller may be examined, some magistrate of peace near adjoining. Second item. That he shall not suffer any playing at cards, tables, dice, balls, 9 holes, or any other unlawful game, or any disorder or outrage in his house, orchard, garden, or backside, but shall keep good order and rule in his house. Third item, that he shall not suffer any neighbour's children, servants, or slaves to tipple in his house at all, nor any other to tipple in his house, otherwise than by the statutes allowed. Fourth item, that he do not suffer any to tipple in hours of prayer or lesson, on any emperor's or festival days, nor at any time after the 8th hour of night. Fifth item, that he shall not harbour any rogues, vagabonds, traitorous men, or any suspicious persons in or about his house. Sixth item, that he shall not buy or take to pawn, or suffer to be bought or taken to pawn in his house, to his knowledge, any goods of any unknown traveller, or any neighbour's children, or servants, or slaves, or of any man's wife, without the consent of their parents, masters, or husbands respectively, and if any such goods he offer to sale or pawn by any stranger, he shall make the same known forthwith to the next bailiff, or other officer in town. Seventh item, that he do not sell his best drink above 4 drakes the gallon, nor the second sort above 2 drakes the gallon, nor suffer any ash fowl to be dressed or eaten in his house, or any other virtues prohibited by the laws of this realm. Eighth item, that he shall not suffer any bawdry, criminal conversation, in or about his house, nor shall procure or cause to be enticed any man to drink in his house, until he shall be drunk or distempered with drink. Ninth item, that he shall not suffer any looting, drumming, or dancing in or about his house on any lesson day, nor in time of divine service on any sacred festival or holy day. 10th item, that he shall cause the license to be openly fixed up in the hall room of his dwelling house, to the end that everyone may see what articles he is bound to observe, dated the day and year first above written, undersigned. Master Valander Omani, Master Novana Ulis, Master Drambarrow, Master Crassius Curio, Master Yingling Half-Troll.
Speak, traveler.
Yes?
Go ahead, you're not interrupting anything. I'm Ellen Scout. You need directions? Ooh. Directions. Hello, go ahead. Palagard is a newly chartered imperial village on the road north from Vivek to Balmora, right on the western edge of the Ascadian Isle region. The village is right outside the Imperial Legion garrison at Fort Palagard. The house and shops are built in the Western Imperial style, and Palagard looks more like a village in the Western Empire than a Morrowind settlement. Balmora is the district seat of House Halalu, and the largest settlement of Vardenfell. After Vivek City, good roads lead north from here to Balmora, passing through Fort Palagard and Palagard village. From Balmora, roads lead north to Aldroon through the town of Caldera. Maybe I'd better write down the directions to Balmora for you. It's a long walk and a little confusing. Yeah. Caldera. Caldera is a recently chartered imperial town and mining corporation north of Balmora on the road to Aldroon. The Caldera Mining Company has been granted an imperial monopoly to remove raw ebony from the rich deposits here. Caldera is a new town recently built in the Western Imperial style. Most of the citizens are outlanders and new colonists. Ebonheart. Ebonheart is south on the road from Pelagard, built on the western shore of the water-founded city of Vivek. Ebonheart is the scat of the imperial government for Vardenfell district and a busy centre of maritime trade. Castle Ebonheart is the home of Duke Vedum Dren, the district's ruler and emperor's representative. Also located at the Castle Ebencart. Ebencart are the Vardenfell district, council chambers, and the Hawk Moth Legion garrison. The East Empire Company has its headquarters in Ebencart. Ebonheart. Yeah. Vivec City is south on the road from Pelargone. Vivec is the largest settlement of Vardenfell, one of the largest cities in the east. Built on Norvain Bay, completely surrounded by water. The city itself is a group of giant town-sized buildings called cantons. The High Fane and the Palace of Vivec are visited by hundreds of tourists and pilgrims daily. Outlanders mostly confine themselves to the foreign canton, while natives live, work, and shop in great house compounds and residential cantons.
Now, where did I put that?
Eleanor Abstracts gave me more detailed directions about Morrowind. Handrum and Delenn.
Don't stand about. Come on. Say something or move on.
Speak quickly, Outlander. My time is precious, so make it quick.
Well, hello. I'm Teleri Helvey, the Sodony swamp fever capital of the world. I suppose you're wondering what's going on here. I can tell you where the services are. There aren't many. I can tell you the latest rumours, unless you've already heard them. Rumours? Tax collector. What do you know? Who are you?
Where is that slave?
What do you want, Jake?
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
The answer fire chapter 6. Chapter 1. You have gained knowledge from this book. Your mercantile skill increased to 11. Nice. Oh, so long. Let's do that.
Finished.
What's it? No bounty.
I'm waiting.
Stop the book.
What's this about?
I have a feeling that you and I are about to become...
Speak, traveler.
The prey approaches.
Dirty. Swamp, usual trap. No.
Speak, traveler.
Let's hear it.
Never seen your dark elf face before. Would you like a little advice? No.
Can we hurry this along?
What do you want?
Rough customers come into town now and then for supplies. Think they might be smugglers and bandits sold locally. Doing a public service to clean them up. Might find yourself a nice loot in the bargain. Can you kill some smugglers?
Can we hurry this along?
Go ahead, stranger.
Feel safe.
Filthy sweat.
What the? What was that good?
Speak, traveler.
The Wraith's Wedding Dowry. Steal that. You have gained knowledge. Your unarmored skill increased to 6. The Wraith's Wedding Dowry of Volfa Graya. Translated by Apthorn. The poets are right. There is something life-changing about being in love, said Kajna Graf of Midfang, sometimes called the Wraith. I haven't wanted to rob anyone or anything in weeks. Why, the other day I saw the door wide open at a wealthy merchant's house, but my mind was fully occupied with what I should wear on my wedding day. You have been out of the right society for very long now, frowned her friend Cargill approvingly. You never told me what happened to your first husband. You know, the one the shaman gave you. Torn apart by ash ghouls, smiled Kajna dreamily. It was rather saddish, but I know nothing like that would happen to Wadgul. No life of adventure for him. He's practically an Imperial. In fact, he is one. Did I tell you how we met? Hundreds of times, grumbled Cargill, reaching for his flagon. He was your jailer, and he refused you food until you promised to marry him. Have you ever heard of anything so madly romantic in all your life? Sighed Captain Kachner, and then grew serious. I was going to say that I hope my old friends will wish me well, but as old Bostry used to say, there's no point in hoping for what cannot be. We'll leave with the Imperial Knights for Balmora immediately after the wedding, but as long as we're in Dagenfell, the gang will find some way of disputing my life and bring me back to the light. I know it. As the days approached towards the Wraith's wedding day, there was certainly something sinister in the air that Kachner could smell when she was not transported by heady bliss. Dark figures seemed to shift in the shadows and disappear when approached. She recognized the clothing of some beggars near Wadward's cottage as costumes, but the mendicants hurried away before she could recognize which of her old gang was stalking her. But these moments of apprehension were few. Kachner was truly happy, making arrangements for the ceremony to be performed at the very dungeon where Wadward had imprisoned her. Her father was long since dead, another victim of the Ash Ghouls, but her fiancé's commander volunteered to act in his behalf. Of course, Kachner had to supply her own dowry. She spent every last mark of her savings of ill-gotten gain to buy her beloved a truly wonderful present. The wedding was set for the stroke of midnight, as is wont tradition. The handmaidens, wives of imperial officers, were busily sewing her into her gown of red velvet and fine gold filigree in the mid-morning. Dolketta, one of the handmaidens, remarked that she had heard that Kachner had brought Wadward a truly beautiful gift for her dowry. "Let me show it to you," Kachner giggled. Dashing from the room half-dressed to a hidden alcove, the present had been stolen. The women were horrified, but the Wraith found herself merely irritated, not surprised. This was truly the old gang style. They knew that a wedding ceremony without a dowry was marked as unlucky. She asked her handmaidens to finish dressing her quickly while she pondered what the burglars could have done with her treasure. The whole region was honeycombed with secret lairs and abandoned sites thieves used to store their loot. There were obvious places, of course, but after much reflection, she thought of where she would have put it under similar circumstances. Once the handmaidens had finished, Kachner bade them to make certain that the ceremony went on as scheduled, and not to fret as she might be a little late. She wrapped herself in a shawl to protect her gown from dungeon dust and set off for the shrine of Malakoth. The Wraith had never before attempted to rob her own friends, and though she was peeved at them for trying to ruin her happiness, she had no interest in hurting them physically. Her style was to avoid conflict, though she knew it would be inevitable. The lessons her mentor Cargol had given her had helped her avoid the lances and blades of guards and Imperial Knights over the years. Now she would see if they would allow her to survive a den of thieves and unknown dangers of the shrine without most importantly ruining her dress. The desolate place was so empty as she delved into it that she feared she might have made a miscalculation. It was not until she found the small room hidden down a long corridor that she knew she was at the right place, and that it was well suited for an ambush. She grabbed the chest with her treasure within and turned to face the assault. Two of her old gang, Yoram and Yori the Red Guard, twin brother and sister, were outside the door as she came from the room. They knew the Wraith better than to taunt her and immediately attacked. Yoram struck out with a left thrust of his blade, while Yori sought to rush her. The Wraith neatly sidestepped Yori while dropping her weight to her rear left leg, shifting her right shoulder to left to slip past Yoram's strike. The twins crashed into one another and Kachner passed swiftly on. Almost immediately, she was set on by the Argonian Binyar, his mace whistling through the air at her head. They had never much liked one another. The Wraith snapped into a duck, so the mace whacked with a tremendous clamour against a stone wall. Binyar was thrown off balance, giving her a few seconds lead, hurrying up the passage. Ahead she could smell the fresh night air. The last of her dowry's defenders was Sorogeth, an orc with whom she had shared a brief romance. It was he who Kachina knew had masterminded the theft. In a way, in context, she thought his devotion to her misery was rather sweet. At the moment, though, she was most concerned with avoiding his barbed axe that seemed ideal for breaking her dress's fine stitchwork and the flesh beneath. Bending her knees slightly, bobbing to avoid strikes to the head, weaving ahead to confuse Sorog of her next move, shuffling her feet arithmetically. The wraith made an impossible target. She ducked inside his thrusts, sidestepped his swings, and then sidestepped his thrusts and ducked his swings. As erratic as she tried to make her defensive moves, Sorov still kept pace with her, refusing to budge from his position at the dungeon outlet. Midnight was coming, and the wraith finally decided she must end the confrontation. When Sorok swung up next, she sidestepped to her left and swayed down and ducked her head so the axe whistled over her right shoulder. In that instant, his right side was exposed. She reluctantly smashed the chest hard into his torso. There was not enough time for Kachina to see if she had killed him or merely knocked him unconscious. In truth, she thought of nothing else but rushing to a wedding ceremony. At precisely midnight, one orc and Kachina were united together. He was delighted with her dowry gift, a fine suit of armor that would make him the envy of other imperial jailers. Even more, he was enchanted by his wife's tale of retrieving it from the shrine of Malakat. Did it occur to you to put on the armor when you knew that it was an ambush? He asked. I didn't want to dent your present, he replied. I certainly didn't want to wrinkle my gown. Yeah. It's 6 hours. Most of the guard find Fargot's hiding place. Are you able to? Yes. You've found his hiding place. That's great. Tell you what, I'll give you 100 gold. You can keep anything else that you found in there. Thanks for your help. 100 gold at the ring. Goodbye.
This is a grand day. Greetings.
Fargot's hidden stash keeps in the hollow tree stump in a muck pond in town. Driscoll's grateful that I found the money that Fargoth had been hiding. He rewarded me with some gold and told me I could keep anything else I found in the bag. Besides the money he wanted. Excellent.
I'm waiting.
I don't recall using teleportation, and yet there I was. Alone. Naked. Anytime now.
If there is anything I can do, I am humbly at your service.
What do you want? Don't bother trying to rob me. The Imperials have taken everything away. We don't have a hiding place. At least not anymore. Going. More. Journey begins. Let's go.
Answer me.
My God, this is so hard. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. Let's save this. It's a good first episode. This dungeon when I get back. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Or not tuning in, or when you watch this later. Take care.